All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our webcast of the 2022 Homecoming Experience live from the West Gym. Woohoo! All right. My name is Kate Haughie. I am part of our board of directors for the Alumni Association. And for the next 90 minutes with my co-host, Steve Seepersaud, who will be introducing himself in a minute, we're going to be chatting with you and bringing you some live feed for those who haven't been able to join us this weekend for our wonderful homecoming weekend. You're going to get to feel some of the energy. We're going to have some live shots of campus where we have students, alumni, faculty, staff, friends, parents, everyone here to join in the Bearcat Pride. Also, we're going to be having some great conversations today with some esteemed guests, including President Sanger is going to be joining us in a few minutes. So definitely stay tuned. But I definitely want to, again, introduce my co-host for this next 90 minutes, Steve Seepersaud with our Alumni Association.
Kate, thank you so much for the very warm welcome. And as you said, my name is Steve Seepersaud. I'm part of the staff here at Binghamton University. I've been here since 2006. And one thing that has been very easy to notice over that time is that homecoming just gets bigger and bigger every year with more and more alumni and more spirit. The tradition just piles on and catches on. And so one of the things we wanted to do in this webcast is to try to bring the energy and excitement of homecoming to you wherever you are in the world. We have Bearcats all over the world, Binghamton alumni in all 50 states, alumni in 100 countries all over the world. And so wherever you are watching us today, we wish you were here, but we're glad you're part of this extravaganza. And as Kate said, we're gonna have 90 minutes of fun between interviews here, and we're set up with a makeshift studio in the West Gym lobby. If you're trying to figure out the brickwork and what building this is, we're at the West Gym. And we're very near the tailgate that is happening, which is the signature event, the biggest event of homecoming weekend with, it feels like everybody that's here for homecoming is at the tailgate. And so we'll be mixing in some interviews, live shots with Owen Holland out at the tailgate, and showing some videos, slices of campus life, and great things that are going on here at the university. So at this point, let's take a look at the lineup of interviews that we'll have from here in what I call Studio A here in the West Gym. Maybe Studio B is better, B for Binghamton. So everybody's got the B, we'll call it Studio B. So our first interview that we're going to have is going to be with Matthew Winston, who is our new Executive Director of Alumni Engagement. And he has been here since May, and this is his first homecoming. So it'll be interesting to hear his impressions and get his thoughts on where he'd like to see alumni engagement at Binghamton become. And we'll have President Harvey Stenger. He has been here for over 10 years now, and there's the list right up on the screen. So I was going to try to do it from memory. Sometimes I think I'm that good, but you miss one here and there. So it's great to have the visual prompt. So there's Harvey on the screen, and he's been here with us for quite a long time and done a lot. Coach Paul Marco will be joining us. This is a soccer game day. Soccer is going to kick off at 6:07 p.m. against UAlbany, and that's another signature event. Tailgate just rolls into the soccer game, and that'll be coming up. So we're glad to have Coach Marco to spend a little bit of time with us here as part of the webcast. A lot of Hinman activities going on. Al Voss, the face of Hinman for such a long time, is going to be here. And so he has recently stepped into retirement, but is back on campus to join us. And we're very, very excited that he is. So I'm going to cheat and look at the sheet here. Scott Foyer, our Alumni Association president, class of 1990, will be one of the guests. Rich and Sandy Alpern, they graduated in the late 60s, early 70s, an alumni couple that met here on campus, been together 50 years, and get their thoughts on Binghamton and why they love it so much, and all the changes over the many years. Taris Rodney, class of '08, one of our Medal of Distinguished Service recipients, will be here. Andrea Holmes from the class of '02, Athletics Hall of Fame inductee, will be here, and then our final interviewer will be Perry Ochacher from the class of 1984, Tier Talk speaker, and Tier Talks is another big event that we have here at the homecoming weekend. And one of my favorites, I host Tier Talks, so I certainly, you'd say he has to love it. So with all of that, enough of me, let's go now to the third member of our broadcast team, Owen Holland. He is not only an alum, a recent graduate, class 2022, but also in the MBA program, set to graduate next year, and he's going to be our roving reporter of sorts out at the tailgate over the next 90 minutes. So let's kick it over to Owen, give us a sense of what we have going on, and there's quite a party starting to build at this point.
Right, that's right, Steve. Thanks so much for that kind introduction. just like you said, it is a huge party out here. I'm here with over 100 alumni, staff, students, faculty members, and friends. This is the signature event of Homecoming, which leads right into the soccer game at 6:07 p.m. I hope you caught that area code reference. And then, of course, the fireworks tonight over Hinman. There's a lot of Bing Pride out here, a lot of Pantone 342, as you can see. Me personally, I've gone on a little double Pantone here. I got the windbreaker, I got the t-shirt, perfect for the tailgate. Just to give you guys the lay of the land here. So we got a bunch of cool organizations and alumni groups here to my left, tabling. Over there on the stage, we've got Dr. Dana and the jam department. That's going to be our live music. We've got the check-in, we've got merch. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hoping to get caught up with some alumni, ask them some questions, maybe do a couple of Binghamton University fit checks, maybe meet some Binghamton celebs. So thanks so much for the introduction. And now back to you guys, Kate and Steve.
Owen, thanks very much, and we look forward to catching up with you at various points throughout the show today. And you're going to talk about wearing the Pantone 342 merch, and in typical Binghamton style, we've got like all the layers, because you're going to need them on a day like today. The sun comes out and it's you get that little blip of warmness during the day, and then the sun goes down. You want all those layers by the time 6:07 for the soccer game, and yes, you get the area code reference by the time the fireworks at 9. You probably bring out a blanket or two. So welcome to October in Binghamton. And so speaking of welcomes, we've been very pleased to welcome the gentleman to my right here, Matthew Winston, and he had come here from Virginia after working at Virginia Tech for many years, also has extensive experience in alumni engagement, both at Virginia Tech and the University of Georgia. And so we're very pleased to have you here. It's been 5 months. What do you think so far?
Yeah, thanks, Steve. It's good to be here and good to be at Binghamton. Having a lot of fun, learning people, learning new places, and getting a sense of the tradition and excitement that happens here at this great institution. So it's been a lot of fun watching homecoming kick off and take place. And yeah, it's my first homecoming here, but it's not my first rodeo ever. So making comparisons to some other things I've seen and gotten to experience, I like what I see here, and I think there's some great tradition that we're going to be able to continue to help our alums enjoy and expand and that kind of.
So what has been the thing that you've been most excited about coming into this weekend? Because as Steve mentioned, you're fairly new to Binghamton, but not your first rodeo. So you've been involved in the planning, but you've also had some time to kind of see it come all to fruition. So what has been the most exciting part about this weekend so far for you?
Okay, really, it's just seeing it all come together.
Yeah?
We've got a lot of really hardworking people across the campus who've been working on homecoming, and that's exciting to sort of see the sausage get made. But then, also, and I've already witnessed a lot of it, just seeing people come back who haven't been back, whether they haven't been back for 15, 20 years, or whether they just didn't come back for a couple of years because of everything that happened with the pandemic. People are coming back and they're sort of seeing a new Binghamton for the first time in a while, and seeing the amazement on their face of how the university has grown, but also seeing the joy and tear in their eyes when they get to see their fellow classmates and that kind of emotion and pride that just sort of wells up in them. It's pretty evident really quickly, and it's just really nice to see. It's the reason why we do all of this in the first place.
So what is it that attracted you to Binghamton? And you probably could have had your choice of spots to go after so many years at Georgia and Virginia Tech, and saying, I want something a little bit different in life, and where do I want to go? And go to this, of all places, Binghamton, New York. And what was it that was the draw here about the area and the university?
Well, that's a kind thing to say, that I could have my choice of places to go, and I did. And I chose to come here. And I chose to come here for probably the right reason. It's a really great place. It's a really great institution. I like that it's a relatively young institution as far as colleges and universities go across the country. And I've worked at a couple of older institutions, and so coming to a new one and seeing, okay, there's a real chance to help kind of continue and build and create tradition at a place like this, where it's already has a strong base of alums who are committed to the institution. University making great strides. I love college towns. I've lived in college towns almost my entire life, so I'm used to that. I like the energy of a college town. So coming to a place like this was a pretty easy decision, and so let's do it, right? I'm ready to be here. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'm glad we were able to make this transition.
So glad to hear that. So, like you said, Binghamton, fairly young, although I think that since it has gotten started in 1946, it has grown tremendously. We started, there was mostly people just around this area, and now it has really grown beyond that. I'm actually one of the alumni that is not stayed in Binghamton. I'm where the other probably 30% are from. Hello, Long Island, for those of you who are watching us. But they're not just there. I'm actually seeing one of our other graduates over here who oversees our DC chapter. So as our the head of our Alumni Association, the director of engagement, what is something that for anybody watching who couldn't join us, how can they stay involved? What should they be looking for from the Alumni Association to kind of keep that big pride going wherever they're living?
That's a great question, and probably the most important question. The one thing we want all of our alums to do is to feel that they are forever connected back to Binghamton, no matter when they graduated, no matter when they went to school, and no matter where they are in the world. And so there are myriad ways where they can stay connected, whether it's just virtually and certainly in ways that they can stay connected with fellow alums in their particular area where they may be, and then ways that they can stay connected with students. We know our alums love to come back to campus, or at least in some form or fashion connect with and mentor our students and provide students with job opportunities, and just kind of, I think it helps them stay young, right? As long as I'm with another student, it helps us stay young. And so there are a lot of ways to do it, and we just ask people to do two things. One, stay connected with our office, with the Alumni Association, because we can help make those connections. And people think that this is sort of a silly thing to ask, but let us know where you are, right? The most important thing is to just let us know where you are and what you're doing, what you're doing in your careers, what you're doing in life, what your accomplishments are, because we want to celebrate your accomplishments, all the alums' accomplishments with you. And knowing where you are and what you're doing is the only way we can really do that. This has happened at other places, and it's already happened here at Binghamton with me, where I meet alums and they actually say, hey, I didn't hear about X, or I didn't hear about, this event or this activity or this project. And I say, well, let me take a look. And we go back and look at their records. And they still have their contact information like at their parents' house when they graduated 10, 20, 30 years ago, right?
Or maybe in my case, it might have been in my off-campus houses that I moved to my senior year and just forgot to update that. So I fully understand that.